Right. If you are in India, right, then for Indian customers, I prefer creating the account first and then accepting the payment, because in India the net speed is for some people is slow. Fine. So we check first whether you are able to watch the videos or not, and then we accept the payment. Okay, right. And I think you are in India, right? So I'll create your account first before taking the payment. Right. So right, and okay, now as I was telling you earlier, uh, right, hold on. Okay, now if in case I have a Chrome, fine, I'm not working on Firefox, and I'm on my Chrome browser, right? I told you how to find the XPath on Firefox, but how do I find the XPath in Chrome? Fine, you just have to initialize Chrome driver instead of Firefox driver. Rest all the functions they remain the same because both the drivers are implementing the same interface. So if you run this, Chrome will open up, right, and it will work. Either you get the IDs or XPaths from Firefox and use them, right, or you get the IDs and XPaths from Chrome. So how do I calculate the XPath in Chrome? Calculating XPath in Chrome is very simple. All you need to do is you need to right click on an element, fine, go to inspect element. The element will be highlighted in the page. You right click on the element and you'll get the option copy XPath. Okay, you can copy the XPath, you can paste it here, fine, and instead of double quotes, you just provide the single quotes. Okay, Srinivas, the course duration will be around 5 to 6 weekends, very easy. Okay, right, and this is how you can do it in Chrome, fine. And moving further on, okay, yes, including this weekend. Generally, it goes up to 6 weekends. Like last batch, it got ended in 6 weekends. Right. So, if I am working on Firefox, right, you'll observe that the Firefox window, which is opened by Selenium, is actually very different than the Firefox window which is on your machine. If I open a Firefox in my machine, then my Firefox has got Firebug add-on inside it, right? It's got a Google search. It's got a lot of you can say toolbars and other things inside it. But the Firefox which is opened by um, what do you say, Selenium, right? It's not got any add-on or nothing like that. Even it's not got any bookmarks which were there in my earlier Firefox. Now, how does this happen? At times you will feel the need that suppose you have opened Firefox, you land up on one page, from that page you go over to another page, and from that page you go to another page, and the script fails on this page. You need to investigate this page using Firebug, but the problem is you will not see the Firebug add-on inside the Mozilla which is actually opened by Selenium. Right? Now first we will see the reason behind it, why don't you get it, and after that we will see how to get that thing. Okay, so the answer to that lies in the concept of Firefox profiling. Fine. Do you guys know the concept of Firefox profiling? Anybody here knowing the concept of profiling in Firefox? What do you mean by Firefox profiling? Do you know it? Anybody?
We have some add-on in the Firefox where we have like some particular kind of profiles. We can have some particular profiles and create that particular environment in that browser.
Not exactly. Hold on. A user, yes, kind of that stuff. A user view. Hold on, I'll tell you. Right. Now, suppose you are using a machine, right, and your brother is also using the machine. Both of you are sharing the same PC. Okay. Now you want that when you open up Firefox, you should see your set of bookmarks, your set of settings, and your set of add-ons. Your brother wants that when he opens up Firefox, he should see his set of bookmarks, his set of settings, and his set of add-ons. Okay. To actually work with that, to actually make that thing happen, we have the concept of Firefox profiling. Right? I'll just tell you, just be with me. In some time you'll come to know. I'll create a new Firefox profile on my system. To do that, you just close Firefox from File Exit menu. Do not close Firefox from the cross button on the top right. Don't close it from here. Close it from File Exit menu. Right? The File Exit menu will go away. The Firefox will go away. Fine. Close the Firefox, all the instances, File Exit. Okay. Go to command prompt, go to run and type firefox.exe -p profile manager. Okay. Type in this thing. This is the command. I'll give it to everybody. And you'll get a window like this. In your PC, you will just have the default profile, which gets opened when you open up Firefox. I can create a new profile and I can call it Ashish1. Fine. When I start this profile, you will see that a new Firefox window will open up, right? And this window will just be like a fresh Firefox browser. Okay. If I go to say Gmail and bookmark the Gmail page, it will be done. Okay. Now I'll close this Firefox again from File Exit menu. Go to firefox.exe profile manager and create a new profile known as Ashish_brother. Suppose my brother wants to use it. Fine. So he will start up his own profile. This will again be like a fresh Firefox window on your machine, and probably you can say my brother bookmarks google.com. So he will have his own set of bookmarks, his own set of settings in this Firefox. I will have my own set of bookmarks. When I have to open up my Firefox, I will open up Ashish1 profile. When my brother has to open it, he will use it, he will open this profile. Right. Now when Selenium opens up a Firefox browser, okay, when Selenium opens up a Firefox browser, it creates its own profile programmatically. Right? It creates its own profile programmatically behind the scenes. Right? And then it launches the profile. And it launches Firefox in that profile. That's why you don't see Firebug. Okay. Now if I want to have Firebug in the browser which I am opening, right? In Firefox browser which I am opening, if I want to have Firebug, then probably I'll have to tell Selenium that fine, do not create your own instance or do not create your own profile, open an existing profile with Firebug. For example, I open Ashish one profile. I open this. I add Firebug inside it. Fine. And hold on. Just a minute. Yeah, it's there in my browser. Right. Now, if I want to open up this particular profile, Ashish underscore brother, programmatically with my code, I don't want Firefox to open up this its own profile. Then I'll have to create the object of a class known as profile ini in my code. Right? Now this class, when you create this is an internal class in Selenium. This represents all the profiles in your system. Okay. Now from the profile, all the profiles, I will write the function, call the function get the profile Ashish underscore brother. And get profile function, it returns the object of another internal class known as Firefox profile. Okay, Firefox profile is an internal class in Selenium. You need to include it in the code. Okay, Firefox profile fp equals to p.get profile. That means from all the profiles, get me the profile Ashish underscore brother. So you will have the Firefox profile class and object, and you pass over the Firefox profile object while initializing the Firefox driver over here. So when you pass it over, okay, Selenium will open up this particular profile. Okay, when you run this, you will see that Selenium never opens up its own profile, but it has. Hold on, just a minute. Something is going on. Hold on. Did I install? Yeah, I installed Firebug in Ashish 1. Sorry. I'll open up Ashish 1. So when you run this, Ashish 1 will open up and the browser itself will have, you see that Firebug is already there inside the browser. Fine? Okay. So this way you can create the Firefox profile object and you can launch an existing profile. So when is the profile useful? When is this useful, and do we have the same thing in Chrome and IE? No, we don't have the same concept of profiling in Chrome and IE. We don't have it. We only have it in Firefox. And when do we use it? We use it, we will see later on when we test HTTPS websites, we use Firefox profiling, or we need to have, when we need to have Firebug in the window in which testing is done, then we use Firefox profiling, right? Or if we are doing Android based testing, then yes, again we use the concept of Firefox profiling there because we change the user agent, fine. Or if I have to download some files from the internet using Firefox, okay? Sometimes you click on a download link and the pop-up comes up and you need to download a file. Then again at that time you need to use the concept of Firefox profiling. Okay, so we'll do that, we'll do everything, right? But you should understand the concept of profiling first, right? This is profiling. You can create, multiple instances of a single browser on the PC. Right.
Ashish, we don't have this. If we don't have this Firefox profiling in IE or Chrome, do we have any similar way there?
No, there is no way out. Okay, you only have it in Firefox. Okay, and it helps a lot, especially in Android. Okay, had this thing right, there is another way, Vinaya. It's not that you cannot access uh, HTTPS and IE. You can do that. There are workarounds. I'll tell you. Right. Can you say it in simple what profiling means? Profiling means, in simple words, multiple instances or multiple Firefox browsers on your machine installed and each opening up in a different way. Multiple instances of Firefox in your machine. Right? Okay.
Do we have this, Ashish? Do we have this like finding element by? Normally, do we use this dot by and a partial export, or do we have like I mean, what is the major like by method, like what we use normally?
Look, generally what I prefer is I prefer by XPath or CSS selectors.
Is there any
Okay.
difference in doing that, like any importance, or why do we go for them only? Like
Because you know what? Not every element has got an ID. Okay. If you are testing a website, not every element. There are some websites on which ID they never exist. Right. So you need to have workaround. So XPath will always be there for every element. Every element will always have a CSS locator. Okay, so that's why, and we can tune it. We can make there are 10 different ways to make XPath for a single element. We will see that in coming classes. Right? It's not just like that we make ourselves dependent on the XPaths which are given by Firebug, right? You can make XPaths, you can make your own XPath as well.
and how do we find these dynamic objects, like when the value of the particular object keeps on changing in the UI, like
Yeah, then XPath will remain same, right? For example,
here
the same thing. For example, I got your point. If you go to Gmail page, this object is changing constantly. Every 1 second, the value is increasing. But if you look at the XPath of this element, hold on. If you look at the XPath for this element, this will remain same. The ID remains same. So you can call the element. You got my point?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter, right? So you have to find a stable property in the end to identify the object. Anything else from anybody? Anything else? I'll tell you what CSS selector. It is similar to XPath. Okay. Only thing is it's faster. Okay. It is faster in terms of if you have to execute a script on IE, then CSS selectors they are very successful. So they are quite faster. Okay. So right now I don't want to hurry up with the stuff because initially there are people in the course who find it really difficult to catch up. Right? So I give them time before we meet for the next weekend. Please make sure that you have watched, you have seen these videos on my website, module 1 to 5 as well as module 11 and 12. Okay, right? So I'll end up the session for today, although a lot of time is left, nearly 25 minutes are left, but in the initial classes I really don't hurry up with the things. Fine, there is a lot to be covered, but just come up with those training modules for the next weekend. Safari browser is supported, Safari driver is there, okay, but a lot of things they don't work on it. Maybe I am wrong, but for me it never works whenever I try to, for example, simple thing like pop-up management and tab management, tab windows, there are tab windows, right, there are pop-up windows, they never work on Safari. Okay. If you look at the documentation, and if you look at the documentation of, if you look at the WebDriver interface, then there is Safari driver. Okay. But half the things they don't work in it. Right. Yeah, I will send you for sure. Okay, I need to upload them on the server. Yeah. Anything else? Which version of Eclipse? Like I told you yesterday, you need to download, go here and download Eclipse Indigo. There is a specific reason, because sometimes test ng it gives problems with Eclipse Juno. So prefer downloading Eclipse Indigo for Java EE developers, depending on the version of operating system you have. If you have a 64-bit operating system, then make sure that JDK is also installed. You write over here, download JDK. Okay. Question is being asked, why are you skipping module 9 and 10? Because I will cover them later on. Right, 10th module is IDE. I don't cover IDE in the course. It's very simple. It's a useless tool basically. Right, but 9th or 8th I will cover later on. 9th and 8th modules on my website, they are actually for test ng and JUnit. So I don't want to cover test ng or JUnit in the very beginning, right, over here. I will cover them once you are familiar with Selenium, and then I will tell you how to integrate Selenium with test ng and JUnit to make your test cases. Okay. Yeah, it gives problems, Vinas. With Safari at times I've seen it is giving problems. Okay. When will the actual class start? And if I pay for the videos now, do I need to pay for the class again? No, it's not like that. The classes have started, actual classes have started. The next class will be on the next Saturday, right? If you want to buy the videos, you can buy by paying some amount, and later on if you want to join the class, you don't need to pay the full amount, you just need to pay the remaining amount. That is whatever is the difference between the class fee and the video fee you have paid, you just need to pay the difference amount. You don't need to pay the full money again and again. Okay. Yeah. When is the last day? Look, the thing is, I don't accept more than 25 people in the batch, right? And you can register any time, right? It's up to you. But if there are 25 people, then I won't accept it, right? So the chances are less. Okay, in no batch 25 people join in, but just telling you. Okay. Tripti, profiling is covered in module number 11. Okay, and to give you a quick overview of profiling again, it is nothing but multiple instances of same Firefox on your machine. Okay, you can close the Firefox window from file exit and go to run and give this command. Create your own profile over here. Okay, and if you want to start that profile with Selenium, you need to create the object of profiles INI class, and then from that profile the INI class object you can get the specific profile you want to get the object of Firefox profile, and you can start working on it. Fine. Yeah, another question is being asked, how do I register for the course? And the process is very simple. You go to my site qtp selenium.com, and on the home page you will see contact trainer section out here. Right, you click on this, fill out the form, tell me that you are interested in the course. I'll contact you and give you the information. Okay. Another question is where I cannot fire Firefox binary path. Okay, if you have this kind of error, hold on. Yeah, this is a good question. Probably on 64-bit machines, this kind of errors they come up. Right? To solve this kind of error, you have a solution like this. If your Firefox binary is not found in the path, you need to write these two lines and then initialize Firefox. You need to write the lines. You need to create the object of the class known as Firefox binary inside Selenium. Okay, and inside it give the path of your Firefox.exe in your system, and then create the profile of then create the object of Firefox like this. So try putting up these two lines, D, E, and you will be able to do it. If D you are not able to do it, let me know. Okay. Don't do that. Okay. Many times people feel that fine. I will record the script on ID and I will convert the script into WebDriver and I will use it. Okay. Now there are various disadvantages to it. Okay. There are various disadvantages to it if you are converting the script from ID and converting it to WebDriver. First of all, there is a shortcut. If you go to an interview, what will you tell them if they ask you a question on WebDriver? I have got so many people in interview telling me, fine, you can convert it, Ashish. Why do I need to learn it technically? Right? The thing is, firstly, you get stuck in the interview. Secondly, if I want to automate again a website like bbc.com, which changes every day. If you do the recording on ID and convert it today, what will you do tomorrow? Okay, right? If I record it today and convert it, tomorrow the complete site is going to change. So you have to have some stable designing for the automation. So WebDriver will help this. So don't use the shortcut. Okay, most of the times you will end up seeing that the script is not working completely if you are converting it from ID to WebDriver. Okay. How do you do binary and custom profile? It is very simple. You just profile will be detected. This has got nothing to do with profile. Okay. Instead of null over there, you give the profile object. Instead of null over here, you give the profile object. Yeah. So fine. Anything else? Any question? Okay, I think everybody has.
Ashish, one last question.
Yeah.
Actually, you were saying like you were referring to BBC website. Like if it keeps on dynamically changing the objects within 24 hours, like what is the approach to automate that kind of sites?
Use stable XPath. Okay. Use XPath which do not change.
Partial
Right.
XPath.
Partial XPath, yes. Probably you have to make your own XPath. You won't have, later on I'll tell you how to make your own XPaths as well. You don't have to depend on Firebug for that. So you have to do it.
Means do they maintain or do they maintain the structure of the HTML of the web page consistently? Like they won't change
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Okay. Now, for example, if I was using the XPath over here, there's an input ID with the email. Now tomorrow the location of this email box changes on on Gmail homepage. This XPath will not fail. It will still detect it because this XPath is telling you that there's an input field with the ID email.
So do you mean like all the objects in the BBC website will remain there, but it might change the position? You mean?
Yeah, it can change in position, right? But the XPath will remain right unless the ID not changed by the developer, right? Okay. ASCII code can be run on WebDriver. You can run it Srinivas, but don't do that. There is a class known as WebDriver back Selenium which can do, but don't do that. Okay. Yeah. So, right. I think I should end up the session. Okay. Thank you everybody, and if you want to join in the course, then let me know. Okay. I'll give